Hey guys, what's going on? This is Pinkini from Baby Brozos, and today we're doing a little bit of a different video that hopefully we'll do a lot more often. So, today I'm going to be telling you guys a story about the time me and my dad went to Boy Scout camp, and it absolutely downpoured. So, let's get into this story. So, this story starts about a couple years back, and it was about I don't exactly know how many years ago, but it was a few years ago. But anyways, I was pretty young, and I was really into the Boy Scouts thing. And I had a couple friends that go. These two guys I knew, we were pretty good friends. We still are pretty good friends. And so they were going. I'm like, yeah, I want to go. My dad was going. It was back in the time like your parents don't leave; they actually stay with you. So my dad was with me and everything. I'm like, this is gonna be fun. Soon as this one guy, he was pretty cool. So we were kind of like all hanging out in the same area. Our tents were like pretty much around each other. And when I say tent, they weren't like tents like ground tents. What they were is basically like if you guys know what a wooden porch looks like, it's pretty small, not very big at all. And it was about I don't know, about maybe 10 feet by 10 feet, just on like the floor. And then in the middle, it had like this big wooden beam that went up a couple feet, a little taller than my dad. So it was about not 8 feet or 9 feet maybe, probably more like 8 feet. Anyways, and then there's like this green canvas thing with like rubber, like green, like very thin rubber on the outside of it that was like just covering us. It just went over it like a teepee, you know. And if I didn't mention, like each side like was like a triangle of like wood that went up from the floor so that it could lay over, but that's all it did, and it was stapled down. That's it. That's all we had. So if some Indians came by and decided to shoot our tent, we'd get shot at. It would go right through. So anyways, guys, so we were having fun, me and my three friends, we went down to this creek. And there's like looking for salamanders and everything, and it was fun. And then after that, it was about the second, or I think it was about second day. Yeah, it was about Saturday. It was Saturday night. Started on Friday, and it was Saturday to Sunday. So it was Saturday night, and my dad's like, "Come on, boys, we gotta go down to like the place where they're like put on plays and everything for the kids." So I was like, "Okay, this is gonna be cool." So we go down there, and we're like watching, and they're like reenacting like older plays but putting their own funny touch on it for the kids, to be funny. So anyways, we're all down watching this, and they're like singing a song, goes, they threw him out a window, something like that. They threw someone out a window. And then they realized the clouds are like really getting awful, and it'd been pretty nasty all day. No raining, nothing like that. The weather just was pretty crappy, like the clouds and everything. It starts raining a little bit, and they're like, no problem. It starts going boom, like thundering, like that loud. You know what I mean, guys? Like, well, not that loud, but louder. But it starts just booming thunder, and it's like nasty, and it's downpouring. It's raining so hard, like it was like a couple seconds, like maybe 10 seconds. I was already drenched. My friends were drenched. They're all running. They're like, "Go to the mess hall. Don't go to your tents." And I'm like, "Well, I want to go to my tent because I need to go there because I'm wet." So we all go to our tents, me and these two guys and the other guy. And the one kid, he didn't like storms, so he's like, "I want to go." So my dad ran out and helped him and his mom and everything and get their stuff and get to their car, and then they left. And my dad goes to me, he says, "So, Wyatt, do you want to stay or do you want to leave?" And I'm like, "Dad, this is exactly my words. This is my first chance to actually live like the Indians lived. So, I want to stay." So we call my mom and my sister, and we're like, "Hey, you guys have the night to yourselves. We're not coming home. We're going to stay out." And we stayed. It rained so hard. And then we're sleeping. And we wake up and we realize that a tree, that the loud bang I heard was a tree. A tree literally fell over. And then I heard one a couple of minutes later. It was my friend's dad falling off of his bed. But eventually the morning came and nothing bad happened to us. But that's the story. So I hope you guys enjoyed hearing that little story. Um, it was pretty fun. It was a pretty fun experience to actually be like doing what I was doing and everything. And like just at the camp, I thought that was pretty fun. But I mean, I'm kind of sad that I never actually did get to, stay like do like the rest of the activities that night, which is pretty a little bit sad, but besides that, the rest of the night was pretty fun because I mean like the storm and everything. It was so cool, and I'm like, excuse to stay up. But it wasn't. My dad still made me go to bed. He went to bed too, but for a little bit out of that time, actually, I forgot to mention that I was watching like a movie with my two friends in their tent on their dad's phones. We were watching something like I forget exactly what it was, but it was something pretty good. We were watching it for a couple minutes, and then about an hour or two, maybe, not a couple of minutes, and then we're like, all right, it's getting kind of late. I said, I'm going to go back to my tent, and I'm probably going to go hit the hay. So, like, okay. So I go back to my bed, and, we're just there, and then, like, the whole thing, like, plays out. It goes down. Like, it goes down. But anyways, so that's when the storm like started getting nastier and nastier. It was already awful, and like literally, I thought our tent was gonna break, which is ironic because we woke up with it broken. So we hear the loud bang, and I'm like, "What was that?" And I look out the tent. It's still pouring. I step out the tent. I was a little kid, so I loved getting wet in the rain. So I step out, and my dad's like, "Get back in here!" And I'm like, "Wait, wait, wait! I want to look." So I go out, and I'm looking around, and I see there's a tree just laying there. It legit fell, and the way I knew it fell is like I could see like the roots in the dirt was like I could really tell the roots had just been pulled out, just ripped out, and I'm like, "Whoa!" So then I go back in my tent. I'm like, well, that's what that is. So about an hour or two later, we hear another thump, and I'm like, another tree? And then I'm like, I don't know, I don't see one. So then we slept till the morning. So we wake up, and upon waking up, we notice that half of like a canvas thing covering us is literally ripped off. Like one side is gone. Like, so when I say gone, I mean like you look, you can see like in or out. It's gone. And my sleeping bag's a little wet in the end, and so is my dad's. And so we were a little bit wet, like our feet and like a bit of our legs were like wet, and we had like soaked socks. And I'm like, oh no, it didn't get our shoes wet. Thankfully it didn't, but it did get some of our stuff wet. But I was still able to make it out. Okay, so that's pretty much what happened. We eventually asked my two friends. We're like, "What was that second thump?" And they're like, they were surprised that the tree fell the first time, and the second one, he's like, "Oh, that was my dad. He fell off his bed in the middle of the night." So it was pretty fun. So, anyways, guys, that was a pretty fun experience, and that was fun to kind of like relive in this whole video series. I'm going to be doing a lot of videos like this, telling stories and videos and everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye. This is Pingini out.